Alright everyone, I'm just slowing down. I want to stop. I want to show you something real quick so that you understand everything before we start. These are the chronicles of the Happy Valley near Wanjohi Town. And just a quick reminder, we will also be exploring the small town in a few. Well, you see that mountain right there? That's Mount Kipipiri. On this side, you have the Aberdares Ranges, and the land in between is the Happy Valley. Well, the area is quite beautiful, that's a fact, but don't be blinded by the beauty. History goes that the beautiful valley was once infested by a group of crazy sinners who engaged in all manner of crazy activities, wife swapping, sex orgies, the use of hard drugs, and wild parties. I'll be telling you more about that. In fact, this is a well-documented history. In fact, there's a Western movie that goes by the title The Happy Valley. It showcases the crazy lifestyles of these party animals, led by one, the third Baron, Lord Delamere. Well, before I go to the small beautiful town in a few, let me show you another thing real quick. Let me try and zoom. Do you see something like a white line? Well, that's Lake Olobolosat. It is here in Nyandarua County, and it is also the only lake in the old central province. Well, another fun fact I want to tell you is that on the other side of the mountain is Nyeri County, and on top of the Aberdares is the Aberdares National Park. Anyway, I was just standing a few meters outside the small town of Wanjohi. I hope you can see it. I want to get there and see how the people live and how businesses are faring. It's on a beautiful Sunday around 11 a.m. Well, I'm told the town got its name from the Happy Valley. The locals used to call it the Valley of Alcohol, as the white settlers used to make merry and drink booze right in the middle of this beautiful town. In fact, if you are quite familiar with the local dialect, which is Kikuyu, Njohi means alcohol, and the prefix wa means the place of. So the name Wanjohi simply means the place of alcohol. Anyway, let's explore the small town. I want to get right into the heart of the town. We want to see how businesses are faring. And remember I told you it is on a Sunday, morning hours to be specific. So don't be so judgmental when you see some shops are not open. This is one of the most religious counties in the country. So almost everyone is a churchgoer. In fact, according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, about 98% of the total population are Christians. And out of the 638,000 people living in the county, only 969 identifies as Islam and 33 as Hindus. Well, the numbers get a little bit crazy when it comes to atheists. These are people who don't believe in the existence of any god. They are only 14 in the entire county. That explains why most of these shops are not open, except for this gentleman who is restocking. But I'm sure by 2 p.m., the town will be super active. I'm sure by looking at the buildings, you can tell the town is super old. In fact, I'm told the town was established in early 1920s. That is when Kenya was still a British colony. And as you can see, it's still functioning. And in fact, it is one of the biggest towns in Kipipiri constituency, Well, there's a hardware shop that is open on my left. It seems like the construction business is booming. You can also see the old post office right in front, with 3 old-timers relaxing outside. Probably they are reminiscing about the good old days when a crate of beer used to cost 1 shilling. Anyway, funny enough, the post office is still operating, despite seeing better days. There is also a fully functioning car garage right in front. It seems like mechanics are not into Sunday morning service. You can see on my right, most shops are closed. Let me tilt the camera for you to see. You can see these 2 mechanics doing what they do best. But literally the town is empty. But don't get it twisted. This is just a small old town of 7,793 people, where 3,736 are men, while 4,057 are women. That tells you the town has more women than men. In fact, the exact number is about 300 in favor of women. But of course, being on a Sunday morning, you are more likely to see more men in the town than women. It is also good to note that Wanjohi is a village town. In fact, the population density is 328 people living in a square kilometer. Well, the internal roads are quite pathetic, as you can see. Someone somewhere must be sleeping on his job. But I can see there's electricity in the town, and the tarmac is just nearby. I will also be going to the outskirts of the town to show you how beautiful the area is. But in the meantime, kindly consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. I'm informed that we just hit the 10,000 subscribers mark. That is not a small feat. It seems like the channel is growing in crazy numbers. And what I can say as Mr. Lone Traveler is thank you to the Almighty. Of course, in God we trust. Also a special thank to all the subscribers. Remember, 10,000 is not just a number. There are real people behind those numbers. They have emotions, they have aspirations, and I know they have a lot of expectations for me. So feel appreciated from the beautiful land of Nyandarua. Tell us, when did you discover the channel? And which town was the most outstanding for you? Please write on the comment section. And for those who have not yet subscribed, please do so. It's absolutely free. In 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Well, I'm heading out of the town here in the beautiful Wanjohi Town, which is right in the middle of Nyandarua County, which is a rural county. In fact, according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, Nyandarua County is the least urbanized as far as the old Central Kenya is concerned. In fact, only 8.9% of the people living in Nyandarua County lives in town. A majority lives in the village, while Kiambu County has the highest number of people living in urban centers. It is at 60.8%, followed by Murang'a County at 36.3%, followed closely by Nyeri County at 34.7%, and Kirinyaga at 25.8%. Well, the national average of urbanization is 32.3%. You can compare that with that of Nyandarua County of 8.9% and see the difference. Well, I have just spotted something. I'll be getting off the car in a few. There are some establishments here. I can read this. Wanjohi Valley Cottage Industries. Okay, it must be a county government initiative. It seems like they are building a modern market. This is the assistant chief's office. They have some pretty doors, for sure. Well, that's the town slaughterhouse and Mount Kipipiri at the background. It seems like the meat supply is well catered for. We have the beautiful Aberdares on the other side. What do I tell you? It is such a beautiful place. Well, I'm back on the road. Remember I told you that today we'll be covering a lot of the countryside. We want to see the beautiful side of the village. Remember, this is Village to Town TV. And before I give you the chronicles of the Happy Valley scenes, I think it is good to make you understand the county of Nyandarua in context, since I feel like it is the most misunderstood county in Kenya. Well, foremost, if you thought that Nyandarua County is poor, think again. According to economic projections made by the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, in 2022, Nyandarua County is the fastest growing in Kenya, with a GDP growth of 10.6%. That means the county's economy is growing by double digit, which is quite crazy, considering that the Kenya's average is 4.9%. Another interesting piece of statistics is that Nyandarua County is the fifth richest county in Kenya by GDP per capita, with a per capita value of $2,482. In simple terms, that means that if you take the entire county's wealth and divide it among all the people living in the county, you'll get that amount. Well, that's quite important information to investors. I have a crazy number of you telling me to give hard numbers on the state of economy in these small towns and investment opportunities. In fact, while at it, let me give you the real estate numbers if you want to invest here or buy land. Mostly land here is measured in acreage, not those small plots. For instance, an acre of land here costs between 1.5 million Kenya shillings and 2 million. You can also get a half an acre all the way to a quarter, depending on your pockets. But in case you are a fan of small plots, especially in the small towns, to get 100 by 100, which is a quarter in the urban center, you will need between 600,000 to 1 million Kenya shillings, depending on the size of the town you want to invest and the distance of the plot from the tarmac. Well, I'm still cruising nicely in the streets of the Happy Valley, or the Valley of Alcohol, here in Nyandarua County. And I'm sure you have seen why the colonial masters referred to this area as the Valley of Happiness. Well, I'm not quite sure whether you have heard about the Happy Valley set, the great sinners that roamed these streets in early 1920s and 30s. But history goes that this was a group of mostly British and Anglo-Irish rich kids. They were also joined by adventurers and other merrymakers who settled in the Happy Valley region of the Wanjohi Valley. History goes that by the 1930s, the group became famous across the world for their pursuit of wild pleasure. They were accused of engaging in crazy lifestyles such as drug abuse and sexual pervertism. In fact, there's a book by one Alf Ashton which describes the group, and the authors say, witty, attractive, well-bred, and well-read Happy Valleyists were relentless in their pursuit to be amused, more often attaining these through drinks, drugs, and sex. In fact, one of the notables of these characters was one lady, Idina Saxville. She was a British rich kid. I don't want to use the word aristocrat. In fact, her legacy still persists here in Wanjohi, as her house is still upstanding. I think someday I'll take you there. It is at this house where she used to hold wild, crazy parties. In fact, her story started when she abandoned her second husband for her lover, Jose, who was 8 years younger than her. And history goes that together, the two lovers relocated to Kenya in 1924 and essentially pioneered the bad lifestyle of the Happy Valley set. As I told you, the lady was notorious for hosting wild parties, which included wife swappings and drug abuse. Well, other notable characters in the Happy Valley set is Lord Delamere himself and Karen Blixen, who is the lady hailed for establishing Karen Estate here in Nairobi, Kenya. Well, this history is well documented. The info is all over the internet. I would also suggest, if you're a student of history, to go and watch the Happy Valley movie. There is another one that highlights the same story that goes by the name White Mischief, and you will see how this village was put on a map right before its time. Well, I think if there's one thing that this village could be proud of, is good roads. You can see the road is quite nice with less traffic and a lot of wild vegetations on the side, making Wanjohi extremely beautiful. It is also good to note that Wanjohi is not just a village. In fact, it is a ward, one of the 25 wards in Nyandarua County, and one of the 4 wards in Kipipiri sub-county. It has 3 villages, Gitei. I just showed you the sub-chief's office. There's another one that goes by the name Mahigaini, and Wanjohi. Well, the total population of the ward is 14,699, where 7,169 are males, while 7,530 are females. The total households number in this ward is 3,875, while the population density is 279 people living in a square kilometer. Well, let me leave it at that. Please continue watching the scenic video until the end. And a quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Village to Town, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent. Also like our video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible, and smash the notification bell so that every time we post, you'll be among the first few people to be notified. Also, special thanks to Team Village to Town TV, those who have supported us since day one. We have a crazy number that watch and comment in almost all my videos, to a point of knowing their names. Thank you very much. I appreciate. There are also those who calls me and offering all kinds of support. I also appreciate. Thank you.